Ciao, sono Kiko Loureiro, sono a Milano e facciamo l'intervista.
Yes, okay, let's start. Welcome, Kiko. Welcome back to Italy and welcome to Linea Rock.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure to have you
Always
here.
a pleasure, yes.
Okay, and actually, Italy is a country that always admired you very much and admire your music and you as a talent. You're also here very often with the band or by yourself, plus your second record, Universo Inverso, as an Italian title. So it seems...
well, Portuguese too.
Yeah,
but,
okay, but it sounds, there's a perfect Latin connection between Kiko and Italy and Portogallo and whatever. Is that something that you feel...
Yeah, I feel very important. Yeah, in the case of Universo Inverso, for me it's important to, in case of that album, I did a lot of Brazilian music mixed with distorted guitar. And so it was important to have this Brazilian, Italian, Spanish probably, Universo Inverso,
Yeah.
And then, but it's a word that kind of in English is very similar, in other languages very similar, so.
And you're here in Italy for some acoustic shows and clinics. Is this the first time you're doing an acoustic tour? I mean, full acoustic?
Yes.
It is.
Because it's not the first time I'm playing acoustic guitar, of course.
Of course, yeah.
And I always did acoustic guitar as a few minutes in a concert with Angra or my solo concerts, a little bit of acoustic guitar. And in my albums, we can find some pieces of only acoustic guitars. And a lot of people come, I love this song. A lot of people really like the songs, this little, normally they are short songs, 2-3 minutes. And I think they like because after a lot of guitars and heavy stuff, then it comes like this peaceful moment in an album with acoustic guitar. And that's the idea, and I really like to have this peaceful moments with acoustic guitar. In Angra also, many songs starts with acoustic guitar. And when I mean acoustic guitar, I'm talking about the classical guitar, the nylon strings.
Yes.
And then and then I've been composing a lot for classical guitar, and I'm practicing more as well. And then I was invited to the Sarzana Festival, which is like a very well-known festival in Italy, to play. I was very honored to do it. I did also other situations. It's not the first time, but coming for more than one gig is kind of
it's the first time. So it's special for us.
Very special.
Okay, is it going to be? And will you repeat the experience? Is something that you like, or?
Yeah, it's very nice. It's very nice. It's very nice when because it's like this. I always played acoustic guitar, and I always like it to play acoustic guitar, but I always felt that I'm an electric guitar player.
Okay.
And of course, people expect me to play electric guitar. So, to really go deeper in the classical acoustic field, you have to feel like you are part of this group of people, this world of acoustic, like the festival in Sarzana, for instance, and meeting the people from the magazines or giving interviews talking about acoustic guitar. So that was very nice. Then you feel more like, okay, I can be part of this. Because it's quite different. It's very different worlds. Electric and acoustic. It's like of course like 6 strings and the chords are the same, but it's a different. It sounds different, and then the fans and the people who are into this music are very different. And then it's good to be part of this. And then you feel more you're part of this group of people, this environment. Then you feel more like confidence also to play and to study, to practice. That was the reason.
Technically it's different also because maybe with acoustic you have to be more polished, you have to be very precise, even more maybe, And also emotionally it's different for you, play acoustic and electric?
Yes, everything is very different. The playing clean and being precise, Yeah, it's like I said the other day. It's like walking naked. It's
yeah.
like you have no. Of course, you can add. Some people add some effects in the acoustic guitar, but if you play like classical guitar, only the acoustic, and you come from the rock environment, that you have distortion, delays, I don't know, reverb, phaser, flanger. You can add a lot of effects, and then you have a band that shares the attention. You have maybe, like in Angra, Raphael in the other guitar, singer and stuff. When you go on stage with one instrument that's pure acoustic, and I'm using the acoustic guitar that has no preamp, it's like only the mic.
Yeah.
And then it's only you. It's like I said, it's naked. You're like, it's pure what you play.
Yeah.
And any mistake, it's not only about the mistake, but about the pure sound. Yeah. And then that's what I like, but it's difficult. It's difficult.
And you practiced a lot. I mean, not everybody can do that. And we know you are a guitar virtuoso. Everybody love your talent and recognize it. So is this something that, not everybody can do? What do you think?
No, everybody can do it. Just a matter of...
as you do it.
Just a matter of practicing and playing. But yes, that's something different than playing electric guitar. So you have to abandon a little bit the electric guitar to go into the acoustic guitar and feel that you're part of this acoustic guitar environment. And then, you have to practice. But I don't want to be any virtuoso in acoustic guitar, because that's, I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it's not my ideal.
Okay.
And then I have the pleasure to play an acoustic and compose and show the songs the way they're born, because a lot of heavy songs or virtuoso songs, most of the time they're born with a small and simple idea from the acoustic guitar. So I wanna do this, and not the virtuoso to play fast or something. It's just for the compositions, more like composing and showing this acoustic sound, peaceful kind of sound in the acoustic brings to us.
You play just your songs, or you play any cover versions?
No, in the festival, in the festival, and then some gigs I did. I was mixing.
Okay.
My songs, the songs that I said in my albums, we find some pieces. I play these songs. I'm playing some arrangiamento.
Yeah.
Per chitarra classica, so for the acoustic guitar, and from the Universo Inverso, for instance. Yes. So I get the songs and play, and show the way the song kind of started, where the idea comes from. And then it's very nice, because then you have to do an arrangement that brings the feeling that you have rhythms, harmony, melody, all together. And then I'm playing also some being Brazilian, brasiliano, io devo farlo.
Okay.
Suonare la musica
it's
brasiliana.
It's the DNA.
I think it's important too. So I got some songs that kind of describe some moments of the Brazilian music that influenced me. So we have like Baden Powell, that was like one of the main acoustic players from the 60s, and then you have the bossa. People hear a lot about the bossa nova, which was like a movement. But this is part of the Brazilian music. So I play one bossa nova, maybe one Baden Powell, maybe one piece written for acoustic guitar, classical guitar, with the Brazilian flavor and stuff. And then so I do a little bit of this mixed with my songs and from my albums, and some arrangements for my songs. Basically.
Do you have any idea to record an album of acoustic stuff?
No, that would be very good, to record an album acoustic. But I believe that before I have to experience a little bit more this acoustic environment, which is very nice. And then maybe in the future, or I don't know, it can be soon, or can be. I have the songs.
Okay.
I have some. I've been writing for acoustic guitar, so I have the songs. I just have to have a bit more time, do more concerts to have this feeling, and then maybe in between the heavy stuff, I could do like a peaceful album in between. I think it would be good.
But not acoustic, but in July, I know that there's a new album by Kiko Loureiro coming out. And Full Blast was the last one from 2009. And it has been defined a magical instrumental journey. So what we can expect from the new one, can you give us any anticipation about it?
I can. I recorded, this new album is going to be out in July. And the drums was recorded by Virgilio Donati.
Wow.
Very nice, very great.
Amazing drummer.
Amazing drummer and a great person. And I just met him. He was in Milano the other day. And he was playing with Alan Holdsworth. And that's great. A lot of amazing drumming.
What style we can expect?
No, I think for the it's like heavier.
All right.
I think some songs. It has a little bit of the Brazilian stuff as well. It's a bit goes with the albums I recorded in the past, but some stuff are different, I believe. But it's more like I have to listen to, and of course the Virgil added a lot of good vibe in the album, like with his playing, of course. And I think for the Virgil, for people that knows Virgil a lot, maybe it's gonna listen to him in a different, because some songs are very simple drumming, and then so he's like grooving and very simple with not crazy drumming. Some of the songs he's doing like full Virgil style, which is great, and some of the songs are more straight, heavy things, which is nice too. And Filippo Andreoli, tutti italiani, Donati, Andreoli, recorded the bass.
Yes.
And one song was recorded by Doug Wimbish from Living Colour.
Yeah.
As well, because I toured with Doug Wimbish a few years ago, and he's a great player, great person. And one of the songs that's kind of slow and it's kind of Brazilian vibe and some a bit Afro kind of style, and then I said, it sounds like Doug Wimbish. He's gonna like to record that,
and it did.
Yeah, he did. Yes.
What's the title of the record?
Yeah, Sounds of Innocence.
Okay.
And then it's soon it's gonna be. I think on Japan is gonna release late June.
All right.
And then I think in around 2 weeks we're gonna put 1 or 2 songs in the internet. We have already like the cover for this song, like kind of single, but for people to download and stuff. And soon. So just I think it's gonna be on the 13th.
Okay. And how did it take this time to record it? Because I know that usually you're pretty quick in the studio. Sometimes it takes a few days to record.
No, yeah.
That's, because you go in the studio, you like to go prepared and...
Universo Inverso was kind of fast because it was kind of live.
All right.
This one, Virgil recorded in a few days, and then I took it was not so... I took like maybe 2 weeks to record all the guitars and the bass.
Which is pretty quick.
No, there's a lot of stuff that we do because the album, as the other ones, is not like trio sound. Like I double 3-4 times the rhythm guitar. Some melodies have like doubled, and then there's a lot of guitar. They maybe put clean guitars.
Yes.
And maybe put other extra guitars. So ideas are coming in the recording. So here more like there's one song that came during the process of the. I always left the space for a song to come during the process of the recording, and for some reason it happened in the No Gravity, my first album. One song, the acoustic song. Of course, it's not gonna be a song with drums because then it's complicated. But some kind of a short song. So the last song came during the process of recording. So then. Delays a little bit.
And this time, which song has been the last one?
The last song, which is it's not an acoustic song. It's like a kind of clean guitar with a piano.
Okay.
So there's no drums, just like calm down.
And you played both piano and guitar?
No, Maria Ilmoniemi played the Hammonds and this piano in this song. What else? And
all instrumental, as usual.
All instrumental.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe one day I can sing. I don't know. I don't know. I got into this vibe of. I was like maybe last year I was like singing more, some shows, some songs. I do have some songs composed for voice, but I always put this work for Angra. You know, when I compose a song that sounds like they work better with somebody singing, not the guitar. Some songs work both ways.
Okay.
You can sing, or maybe you can do an arrangement to be like instrumental.
Maybe you should start to sing, because there's fresh news, you know, that Angra are parting company again with the singer. So it's like
no, but this the Edu left.
Yes.
But this, of course, this talking about he was about to leave the band also for quite.
So
long time.
It's not okay, but it's official. I mean,
because now he wrote down. It's official.
Last week, so it's like
exactly.
It was.
And but we kind of knew. I talked to him this month before I came to Europe, and then I knew that any time he would write us the letter saying that. But the discussion comes. The talking about this comes up for quite a long time.
Are you still friends, or it's like?
No, I was very friends. That's why it took a very long time.
Okay.
Because we don't take like the problems or stuff to build up, and then suddenly we split because everybody hates each other. Now we take the problems and we talk, and takes a long time and talk, and then I say, look, the only way is like this. And then we wait whenever you want to go. Exactly. And then because he was with some problem with his voice.
Oh, okay.
So for some time. So, and I really believe that only if he's gonna get better, because we wait a little bit. I mean, this is quite many years.
You gave him time.
No, because of the voice can go and get better or not. So. And then I really believe that being out of Angra and with the friendship there, that he can come back.
Yes.
Or not. But being out of the spot, the fans criticizing or people, the pressure, we have to do a new album or all this. And now he's there. Now I really believe now his voice is gonna be like how he was, you know. Yes. And I hope so. But I really believe that's the only way, because with the pressure of recording new album or doing shows that he sings better than the other shows doesn't sing, and then maybe the other one is a bit better, but
But what is Angra gonna do now? I mean, do you have any plans? For
mediate? No, because as we were waiting for that, we were not doing plans on his back.
So
right, there was no plans on his back, which is not nice. So, and he knows that. So there was no singer like, okay. So no, it's okay now. Now we think about it.
Okay.
Now we can think it's a singer comes, as everybody has other plans or for this short period now. As I said, I'm releasing the album, and then. It's okay. Then we can think, listen to singers.
So it take quite some time. Yeah.
Because we don't. Besides the world, everything is crazy, and once the things happening a lot, so we don't have this feeling, because the band is already like 20 years old, and then there was no reason to
hurry.
Rush, for this. I believe, because. So many bands don't live for, like more than a few years. So.
Yes. And do you consider your own career as a solo artist and Angra career like two chapters of the same story, like two parts of the same journey, or they are two very different worlds in your opinion and in your feeling?
I believe it's the same story, because my story, it's kind of because I did the albums in between. It would be, I played in Angra, then I stopped, and then I did my solo stuff, and then I came back, or something like this. Then you could see like different moments. But I was always doing, it's funny because I listened to some songs, the No Gravity. I did that album because Edu needed some time for his voice that time. Okay. So I'm talking about 2004.
Yeah.
So we recorded the whole album, stopped for a few months for him to record the voice. And this stopping, I said, what am I going to do now? Well, I have some songs, and then I was in the studio talking to the Dennis Ward.
Yeah.
And actually, I forgot to say, the new album also was
produced.
Was mixed. I recorded in Finland. Some stuff like all the guitars with Matthias Kupiainen from Stratovarius.
Yeah.
And Perto Vanska, great guy, in the studio there in Finland.
And Dennis Ward is mixing?
And Dennis Ward mixed the album. Okay. I recorded a few guitars still with him. And then Dennis did No Gravity, Dennis did Temple of Shadows from Angra, did the Rebirth from Angra. I love his work. So it was great to be possible to do with him.
And do you like also his new band, Unisonic?
Yes. Yeah. Very, yes. Well, it's a great band. I really like Costa, the drummer, and
Mandy Meyer.
Just the guitar player. The Kai Hansen, the other one I never met, but all the other guys. Mandy. I never met. And Dennis, and of course Michael Kiske. It's great idea to put and Kai Hansen there. I'm a big fan of Kai Hansen. Kai Hansen as a singer, as a composer, as a guitar player. It's cool to have this band all together on Sonic.
You are one of the most influential musicians coming out of South America. How do you live that? Do you live that as a responsibility?
That's thank you. It is in a way, for the young guitar players from Brazil. Yeah, so I didn't. It's crazy to think about that, but I didn't mean to do this, to be like this. But in the end, there's not many guitar players that went abroad. The Brazilian music is really well known all over the world.
Yes.
The Brazilian music, and a lot of great musicians. But normally they are more playing the traditional Brazilian music. As a guitar player, that's true. That's not many that.
And how was it for you? I mean, because you mix, you play from flamenco to heavy metal and classical music in between, traditional, how was it for you to mix, these traditional influences from your country to rock more typical influences?
Yeah, I think this mix I'm always searching the way to do this mix in a good way.
Yeah.
The way that please me and the way that, because if you think about Italian music, sometimes I ask people here and people, they cannot imagine how to mix, because they think about Italian Toto Cotugno, like Gigi D'Alessio. They think about that, and then how are we gonna mix it? But of course not. They have like other artists, other composers, other classical music, of course. And then the feeling of being Italian, of the melodies you can have, of the culture itself. It's much more than any artist that you don't like. But what?
Yeah.
And then the Brazilian stuff is like this too. How to get this vibe of the native music somehow, this feeling of what is to be a Brazilian person, and put into the rock concept. We always we did this with Angra, a little bit in Angels Cry, because not much, because we had like a German producer, and then the first contact, he didn't understand much that, but the second, with the same producer, came Holy Land, which was an album that has a lot of Brazilian influence, with the same German producer. He understood, okay, these guys are not so crazy. It can be interesting as well, And then the same with Dennis, in the beginning, Rebirth was like, the guy's coming percussion to do a metal, what is this? But then the second album, Temple of Shadows, has more stuff, and then I record my solo albums playing some percussion. Then he understands that it's very important to have this for us, to have not only the percussion, which is easy to to bring the Brazilian atmosphere, adding percussion. But the way you do melodies, the way you do harmonies, the way you create the melodies, but much more descriptive, the melodies of Brazilian music, much longer lines that takes forever. It's not like a short line that repeats on. So Angra music like this, my songs are like that.
So you think that being Brazilian, adds something? I mean, you have more rhythm, and you are more open-minded.
Being Brazilian adds a lot for me because I am.
Okay.
But I think being Italian adds a lot to the Italian musician. That if they could add a French art that adds a little bit of the French culture in their music, whatever is the style, is gonna make this person a little bit special and different in a way.
And do you remember the precise moment when you decided that music was gonna be your life? Is there any event, something that happened in your life? I don't know.
I was really into music, but there was a time, I don't know, I don't remember this moment exactly, but I was doing, when I decided I have to go to university to do, get into the university, I decided to do biology and music, and I get into both universities. I was doing one during the day, other one at night. It was a bit.
Which one at night? Music.
The biology.
Oh, the biology.
The biology you could do at night if you extend 1 year or something like this, right? And then, so I was doing at night the biology and the music during the day, and practicing the guitar as well. And then I said, no, this music is not nice. And then I quit the music.
Really?
Yeah. And then I was into being a biologist. But I kept playing with the bands and practicing by myself. Yeah. That was my passion, and playing with some. And then it came the opportunity to record Angels Cry. Mm-hmm. And then I came to Germany to record Angels Cry. Mm-hmm. And we stayed, 2 months here. And I lost all the tests and everything, 2 months of university.
Okay.
And then I said, you know what? Yeah. I don't want to stud the double to get back, do another year or something like this. I said, no.
And the rest is history. Okay.
Yeah, the rest is
as they say. All right.
Well, it was good in a way, but it was a good reason to abandon. Then I was recording the album, and then the Angels Cry was gold discing. Was not, maybe it was when the decision was not released in Europe. It took 6 months to be released in Europe, Angels Cry, from the release in Japan. Yeah. But then it was gold disc there. I said, oh wow, I'm gold disc in the other side of the world. It doesn't change. It didn't change my life to be a rock star, but it changed my life in deciding to be a musician. It was interesting.
You deliver a very distinctive style, very raw in a sense, very emotional, and also very much respected by a lot of other musicians, which is
that's good.
Very good, all over the world also. How did you work on it? I mean, how much is it a natural talent, or it's a matter of hard work, beyond any imagination?
To develop a style,
to develop the style and the technique, both. Or it's a mixture of both.
It's always a mixture, of course. You have to. It's a mixture, but it's a passion. So it's something that you do as a hobby, as you do anytime. You just need to do. It's like you're a bit addicted to do, to play, to do music, to talk about music, or to go to a concert or anything. So you just live music. That's most important. Maybe you don't need to be with the instrument all the time if you don't want to be a really technical, but you want to be a great composer. Maybe you just need to listen and collect information into your brain somehow. But if you want to be a little bit more precise and you're playing with good technique, then you have to have your guitar with you all the time. So a lot of work.
At your concerts, I've been there quite a few times, and you see people now staring at you, and they're amazed, by your style, your playing, and everybody's, I want to be like that. What does it take to be like a god, like him? It's like.
Nobody's a god. Come on.
No, it's true. It's true. It happened quite a few times. So it's
nice to. It's very. It's very nice when you see somebody doing something with passion and doing in a good way and doing well. In anything, when you go to see a good movie and you say that's a good movie, and you just feel happy of that somebody did that. I think that's the way, fans or people, they see that, the guy is like, you can see somebody spend some time with a lot of passion and love to do that.
Yeah.
It's not, nothing comes out of nothing. So I think that's what amazed people. That's natural. And then we are always amazed by great sportist, great painter, or more nice movie or nice music. And then, but music, of course, is the best art of all, because you cannot touch, you cannot see, and it really brings you a lot of emotions and rememberings and stuff like this. So in the end, it touches you much more maybe than a painter or a cathedral or something. But music can bring you memories or smells. And
sure.
It touches your limbic system, and then it's quite interesting. That's why people get so amazed and like passionate about music.
And when you improvise, it's amazing also. Full of creativity, and you really give chills. Is there any preconceived structure also in those cases, or it's you really totally follow the emotions of the moment when you jam, when you improvise?
It depends the situation, but what you really need to do is like to try to be natural and have this flowing of creativity, information. Just try to flow and don't think. Don't use like preconceived stuff. But it depends on the day, it depends on kind of music you're doing, it depends on many things. How much you get into. And the best moments of this flowing normally is when you compose, so you're by yourself.
Yeah.
You're by yourself, playing, and then you get into a little bit of this feeling that ideas are flowing.
Yeah.
It can be on stage as well, if you have a good environment and a good day, and it's going to come out much better. But every time you have to make music really as a pleasure, you have to try to do this flowing every time you play.
Yeah. And concerning composition, when you have a great technique like you do, is it easier in a sense to approach composition or not?
No, I think the technique, the skills of playing has nothing to do with it, with the composition.
But,
only if you want to compose something. Only if you want to compose something fast, but it can be dangerous too, because maybe you just focus your playing into technique and scales up and down, and then you forget the rest.
Okay.
And some other people that's not focused on that can write very beautiful songs. Okay. So it can be dangerous. The only thing is, like any idea you have, you are able to play.
Yeah.
But this doesn't mean anything, because it doesn't mean that a good idea has to be difficult to play. So.
Okay. Did you use or develop any special Brazilian guitar scales?
No, the Brazilian music. The Brazilian music is very European, because we were like invaded by the Europeans, and right from the Portuguese, from the Spanish, from the French, and from the Dutch. Basically, this right when the discovery times, kind of after the Italians, of course, because they went there. And this with the native Indian, and then the African, from the slavery times, and this brought something which is the Brazilian culture.
Okay.
This mix, and then you see countries with the same history, like United States and or like the Caribbean countries. There's very similar history, but the music is a bit different. The Caribbean is kind of close, but then you have the Caribbean music, which is a bit different. And then I try to get that and put in my music. Yeah.
Is there any performance on any of your album as a solo artist or with Angra that you consider your very best performance?
No, some parts that I like.
Parts. not a complete song. Oh.
No. Then you see. No, then I could answer as a composer, as like some songs that I did, the song that I like can be like as a guitar player, something that I recorded that I like. It doesn't need to be something technical.
Let's do both. I mean, as a
I
performance.
like everything, and then normally I like the songs that the other guys wrote because like it's like cool to see a totally different idea that I would never had.
Okay.
You know that I really like.
So that songs. Gives you more excitement.
I really like some songs that the other guys from the band write. Yes. Well, not like I have a new album and I should do like after the release another interview also like more specific about the album, I hope. And but when you do an album, like you tend to be satisfied with everything you did, or if you're not satisfied, you believe that's me, and then when you think that's me, it means that you like the balance. It has to be plus.
Okay.
You have to be satisfied with you and maybe not in everything, otherwise your ego is going to be exploding. But have to be a good balance, but you have to be a bit more satisfied about yourself than unsatisfied.
Okay.
Otherwise it's going to be also, having some difficulties, psychological difficulty, or maybe drinking too much or taking some drugs or doing something like to compensate that. So music is the same. You do some songs that you like, some you don't like that much, but say, well, that's the best I could do at that time, at that moment, and it's good because of that. And then I take like this.
Let's put it like this. Is there any song that you are very proud of your songs?
There's moments. Because if I say one song, is hard.
It's unfair on the other songs.
It's unfair on the other song. But it comes to my mind like the late Redemption song is like one of in the end of the Temple of Shadows. I did a song, and then I really like that song because we have like I'm a big fan of Brazilian music, as you know. One of the great composers of all times, more modern, is Milton Nascimento. Okay. And this Milton Nascimento, he sings in that song, and then he said he's a great song. So that's why I came to my mind. So it must be good. It came to my mind that song.
Yeah.
Because I really like. I like as other ones, but then this guy that I'm a big fan, he came and said he sang in that song, and then he said it was good. So
great.
I'm very happy about that.
And about the 27 frets guitar, why that choice, and how did you came, to that idea? We can consider that like a special signature Kiko model. Why that?
Just when I started, I have like this model one, and then I kept using, and then. I play in other guitars too.
But what's the plus of using the 27 frets for you?
The plus really is not that I use it a lot. I use sometimes.
Yeah.
The plus is just I'm very conservative maybe because I have the same guitar for many years, and then I just feel I feel comfortable. Okay. I think the plus is I feel comfortable because every time I get it in my hands, it's kind of the same guitar. And so I feel I'm at home, kind of, like this. And if I get out, of course, sometimes I play a lot in the albums. I experiment a lot. Live, not much, because then you have to carry like 10 guitars. In the album, you can carry like 20 guitars and try many. And it's very nice to try other guitars because then it takes you to other ways. If you get a Les Paul, maybe you play a little bit different. If you get a Strat, you play a bit different too, because it takes you. Other environments, so it's good.
And how is your gear composed at the moment? I mean, do you change it very often?
My
amps and amps, guitar, the gear,
You mean like
now? What you using now, and if you change it very often?
I'm using like the Linea amps and this my guitar, Tajima guitars with a friend of mine. It's a big company in Brazil, and of course, all the brands. Many brands helps me, like Daddario strings, Daddario, and the Zoom effects.
You're using a lot of effects, or?
I don't use a lot of effects. In the album, of course, you experiment more in studio. You have like plugins, you have many out gears, and yeah.
And how close do you feel to be completely fulfilled and feel, complete as a musician after 20 years of career, or there's a lot more to learn and do?
That's a good question. That's a good question that everybody has to think about this, because to feel fulfilled, that's what the word you use. And nowadays nobody feels like that. Because I think before, I mean, if you look at your work, you do your job, and when you finish that day, you go home and that's it. Now you do your job. When you finish, you always can put something in the internet, like I can do some more at the Facebook. Maybe I could do some more in the YouTube. Maybe I could do. It's never ending, because it's never ending. So we live in a different time that you never feel like you finished. You finished something. And then, like, I just did an album. I finished the album, and then send the master to this gonna manufacture CD. But this is not enough anymore. You have a CD. You have to do like videos, because if you have the music with no image in the YouTube, it's not gonna. And then you have to do something else. I don't know. But you cannot do like 10 video clips. So you have to work. And then people want that you write about every song to be, because Facebook you need to, and then it never ends. Never ends. So the thing nowadays is like how you feel like never ending your stuff. It's more like the feeling of I know I never gonna end. Feeling good about this, and then doing step by step, and just keep doing, because there's no end.
No limit.
There's no end. Yeah, there's no end for that. And then I think people get a bit crazy. It's very dangerous, because you feel a bit crazy, because I have to do more and more and more. And then the day has 24 hours. And then.
Very last thing, 3 guitarists that you consider the most influential in your style.
3 guitarists? In my style, many names came to mind, but it's to feel 3 guitar players. It's not much. 5.
It's better.
I could say like the first, but maybe it's not so clear the way when I play, is Jim Page. Jim Page, because he made me play guitar in the beginning. He was like, I was listening a lot to Led Zeppelin. Like this passion for music started a lot because of Led Zeppelin. And then because of the band, and that's like in the concept of Led Zeppelin, a lot of acoustic stuff in between, and some songwriting or some good solos. So it's more like the way I like. That's a good one to mention. I don't know. So too many. I'm thinking. Yeah, Van Halen, of course. But then I could say Van Halen, another one. I could put everyone for this late 80s generation all together. They all.
As like a whole, a movement.
Yeah, because I was not listening as a fan of one. I was listening to everything. So I could say Steve Vai Satriani, Josan Becker, Steve Morse,
Paul Gilbert,
all these guys from this generation that suddenly came, or Greggy Howe, Vinnie Moore, or all this. I don't know how much. Some are more well known, some than other ones. So maybe one did more albums than other ones. Maybe one disappeared, but some disappeared from that time that I don't remember now. I didn't mention, but these all, I think they had like a. In my playing, it came Yngwie Malmsteen, of course. This period, very important. I was never a big fan of one and like trying to really dig into. I was listening all this
again,
movement.
A mixture.
A movement.
Yeah.
And then I could say, and then of course. Like Egberto Gismonti, which is like acoustic play from Brazil. It's very interesting, and I listen a lot. It's kind of different music, but I could mention him too.
Thanks for your time, Kiko.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure as always. Thank you very, very much. See you next time. Pretty soon, let's hope.
Let's hope, yes.